up, you guys? This is Danny B. You're watching the Trash Stash, and this is my top 20 for 2020, my 2000s through 2009 horror movies. And I'm a little bit late on this. To be honest, I just got caught up in all the craziness going on with the coronavirus and all that shit. I kind of stopped watching movies. I was just constantly checking the news and all that kind of shit and feeling kind of depressed about the whole situation. So this was an idea created by Horrific Nightmares JM and Joe TheHORROman. And the rules are you can only do one film per franchise and no honorable mentions. So here we go. Coming up at number 20 is Cube 2 Hypercube. And this is the only one I don't own a physical copy of, but I'm going to get it because I love this one. And the cube is got more dimensions to it than just a square. I don't know. Pretty cool one. Alright, coming up at 19 is Trick or Treat. This one is cool. It's not my favorite. A lot of people put this way higher on their list. I like it, but it's not. It's a little bit lower on the list still. Coming up at number 18 is Rest Stop 2. And I like the sequel better than the first one. And it's about someone stuck in a haunted rest stop. And I don't know what's going on with this movie, really, but it's got some fun characters and stuff. Alright, coming up at number 17 is Shaun of the Dead. Classic 2000s horror comedy about a guy living in a zombie apocalypse. Alright, coming up at number 16 is The Watcher. This was with Keanu Reeves as a serial killer and Marissa Tomei as his psychiatrist. Thought this was a pretty good one. Coming up at number 15 is one that a lot of people are not going to put on their list, but that is Halloween Resurrection. And to me, this is probably one of the worst Halloween movies, but I still enjoy it. It's kind of a terrible movie compared to like the other Halloweens and stuff, but I don't know. I like it for some reason. All right, coming up at number 14 is Saw, the original. And not a huge fan of the Saw franchise, but the original is okay. I'm still kind of trying to find my favorite Saw movie, but for right now, I'm going to say part 1. Alright, coming up at number 13 is Final Destination Part 3. And I like Part 3 better than the rest of them for some reason. I don't know, I just have a fun time with that one. And I like the soundtrack. It's got the roller coaster song in the one scene. Hey, coming up at number 12 is Hollow Man from Paul Verhoeven, the director of RoboCop. And this movie, I haven't watched this in a long time, but I liked it back when it came out. I saw it in the theaters, actually. And it's got Kevin Bacon as the Invisible Man. And he's kind of like, he goes super shady once he turns invisible. It's number 12, Hollow Man. Alright, coming up at number 11 is Leprechaun in the Hood. And this is one of my favorite Leprechaun movies. And I think it's one of the only ones that took place in this 2000s era. I think there was maybe 2 or 3 of them. This is my favorite one of those. Alright, coming up at number 10 is The Midnight Meat Train. And that's one I just saw recently, actually, and I really liked it. About a mad butcher that's hanging out on the subway trains, and I don't know, it goes into a whole other storyline, but I won't spoil it. Then number 9 is Zombieland. That's with Woody Harrelson, and you know, I had a blast watching this one. I thought this was one of the better zombie movies of the 2000s. But there is one I do prefer over it. Coming up at number 8, that is the Dawn of the Dead remake. And when this came out in theaters, I thought it was such a fun blast. It was just a fun movie. You got the running zombies and good cast in it. Alright, coming up at number 7 is The Card Player from Dario Argento. And a lot of people hate this one. A lot of people say it's some of his worst work and stuff. I don't think it's as good as his older stuff, really, but for a 2000s horror movie, I thought it was pretty good. It's about a serial killer that plays online poker with the FBI. Coming up at number 6 is Freddy vs. Jason. And this was such a blast to see this in the theaters. I watched this probably like 3 or 4 times in the theaters. And I have the poster. When I worked at the theater, they gave me the poster for it. And yeah, it was just a good one. Coming up at number 5 is Cabin Fever. And this was one of my favorite movies that came out back in the day. I watched this over and over. I had such a fun time watching this one. Coming up at number 4 is Willard, the remake. Absolutely love this one too. I watched this a bunch of times when I worked at the theater. And Crispin Glover is hilarious in this. And you got all the rats running around. He's going like, tear it, tear it. Arlie Ermy is in this. He's great in this. He was kind of on a horror kick, Arlie Ermy, back in the day. Coming up at number 3 is Joyride. And I love Joyride. I thought this was such a good movie. And it still holds up great. Yeah, and this is from the director who did Red Rock West and a bunch of other, like The Last Seduction and Kill Me Again. This guy is great at doing these, like, country thriller type movies. All right, coming up at number 2 is P2. And this is one I saw back when it came out, and I didn't remember the name of it until last year. I rediscovered it. And such a good movie, so underrated. You got Wes Bentley as a psycho parking garage attendant. It's got like a very like new school grimy kind of vibe to it, because it's all takes place in a concrete parking lot on Christmas. Yeah, I love that one. P2 at number 2. Number 1 is, of course, American Psycho. Such a classic. You got Christian Bale as a complete sociopath, going nuts over business cards and all kinds of funny shit, saying like, I have to return some videotapes. Every time he leaves a meeting, I have to return some videotapes. Yeah, he's just a nutcase in this. He's chasing people around naked with a chainsaw. He's fucking... every time he can't get a dinner reservation at Dorsia, he's going nuts and killing someone in his office building. It's just a crazy movie. So that's my top 20 for 2020, 2000 through 2009 horror movies. Let me know what you think of that list. Alright, you guys, check out everyone who's doing this. Just type in on YouTube, top 20 for 2020. This is Danny B. You're watching The Trash Dash. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.